welcome once again to another interesting episode of Inside Out. And this week we have a topic, well, what I'll call it is essential. It's an essential topic. After the elections and all the election promises, most governors, and I think government generally, even at the federal level, has been very quick to promise us a lot of changes in this sector. They say for every human being, there's some things that are basic and essential. Food, shelter, clothing. So housing is something that is important for survival. So today we'll be talking about housing in Nigeria, how affordable, how do we move forward, what can we do? For those who have tried it, how easy has it been? And if you want to build a house, what are the steps to take? How can you go about it as a common man, considering the fact that this is essential to life? And I think I have a panel that would sort of do justice to this topic. Please help me welcome the only female there, Mrs. Falilat Ayola Mati. She's a businesswoman. You're welcome. Next to her is Mr. Olubile Gideon. He's the Assistant General Manager, City Planners Property and Investment Limited. And lastly, Mr. Hamid Adediran. You're welcome to each other. Okay, let's start with you, Falilat. What has been your experience? Do you own a home? Or landed property or anything like that?
Okay.
And if you do, where?
My husband has a plot of land in Aja. But we don't live there. We live in a rented apartment, but he has a plot of land there.
Okay.
But living in that area, it's at the time we got there, we're somewhere at on the mainland. We had to move to the island because we had some things to do there. At the time we got there, it was a little bit difficult because compared to where we were coming from and living in that part of Lagos, things there are a little bit expensive. And we now found that at the time we got there, we found out that, okay, what's the business there? It's landed property, because people buy land like 10 years ago for like 450,000. Now they're telling you that plot of land is like 8 million, 10 million and all that. But the life there, to me, it's not easy. For a starter, you want to say, okay, you want to become a rich man tomorrow. It doesn't just start a day. It's a process. Whatever you want to do in life is a process.
So land around that area now is going for how many million, for instance?
It depends on the area. There's some for 800, like I heard
800 what?
1,000,
Okay.
some for 1 million. And some people sell for as high as 10 million or more. It's all about your choice area, where you want.
I actually wanted to just ask, why is everybody moving to the island? Maybe you're the ones making it high.
Not really. I don't know, but people say, okay, many people work on VI. Maybe that, like they say, we in quote, the in thing, moving to the island, it's the in thing. But it was because of the job myself and my husband had, that's why we had to move that way, for it to be easier for us, not because, because people were moving there. That's why it was closer to the area.
Do you think there's affordable housing, for instance, in Lagos?
In Lagos?
Yes. Would you say it's easy to get a house?
It's easy. Depends on your pocket.
Okay, if
kind
my
of house
pocket
you
is a
want.
very lean pocket, can I get a house?
Sure, you can.
Like where?
You can. Your pocket can be lean and you have a high of a mansion. It won't work. If your
Okay,
pocket
if I wanted a one-bedroom bungalow, if that exists, can I get? Do you think?
Depends on the cash you have, you could.
Okay, I just want to know what your impression is. Do you think housing is easy in Lagos? See, you must have plenty money in the corner somewhere.
In life, there's nothing easy in life.
There's nothing easy in life.
No, you have to try. You have to go an extra mile to do something. You want to get a house, you will have some money. The house is not free. Even if the government wants to give you a house, it's not free.
Let me take you, Hamid. What's your point of view? Do you think housing is easy? You live in Ibadan.
I live in
Oyo
Ibadan.
State. What has been your experience?
As much as a lot of people see Ibadan as a relatively peaceful place, things are believed to be affordable, I must say that it's not exactly the way it looks outside. And I think things are really getting worse now because I'm still in school, but I have a couple of friends that need some of this property. And I found out that from my experience, some of them are not in Ibadan, but they just have a belief that Ibadan is a cool place to settle in. And they know I'm the Sean of the shore, like some people will say, because I'm actually an
You know your way
Ibadan-based
around.
person.
You
So,
know your way around.
and from there, I've been able to gather a few bitter experience as far as owning
Trying
a
to obtain
property
property.
is,
What has
is
been your
actually
finding?
concerned. Okay, when it comes to, for example, usually people believe that it starts from getting a land. I don't think it's a common tradition that people buy houses here. I've not experienced quite a number of people that they really buy houses.
And that's
So
true, you know. I think people,
yes,
we prefer to build here.
most people prefer
Their
to
own.
build. And so, you know, there's a friend of mine that asked me to get a plot of land for him. And going around, number one is that you really have to, as a starter, you have to think of the outskirts. You know, those places where you probably have to take a bike. Even if you have a car, you need to park your car somewhere.
That means those places where there's no house right now.
There's no house.
So if you're a starter, you can't afford areas that already have population.
Not at all, because you have to be thinking of millions of naira to even buy land there.
Okay.
And so, apart from now, so when you get to those places, there is really no sign of life there. You're probably one of the people they can call pioneer colonizers there. You can't find your way. Everywhere is just
There's no
bush.
streets, nothing.
There's no streets, no layouts, nothing. And so you're not even sure what you're buying. The land agent or whoever just tells you your land starts from here and it ends there. And the next time you want to come,
You know,
you're
I'm really, you know, I didn't think about that, but yeah, that's what, even in Lagos, I think that's what it is. In Abuja, it's the same. Yeah.
And so you really can't find your way the next time you come around. And that's why it's often associated with a lot of land disputes. Okay, it's here, no, it's not there. And then it was, I think I'll really like our experts here to enlighten us more. Because when you talk about an acre of land, I want to know what exactly is that supposed to measure? I was talking to a land agent, we need an acre of land, and my lawyer needed the figure, the dimension to put up a document. And he was like, just say 1 acre. I don't know. And I don't think it is supposed to be so. But because that's the way they do it, and you know, they do it that way, and people just accept it that way, they feel that's the norm. So I really think the public needs to be more enlightened on this, and so that they will be more comfortable when they are putting their money, getting all these property that are supposed to be theirs like forever.
Okay. Mr. Gideon, I was waiting for us to hear from them before we come to you as the expert. You are a property developer, yeah? Okay, what is 1 plot? Then what is 1 acre?
Okay.
I mean, let's start from there.
Okay, a plot of land by dimension is 648 square meter, or you call it 60 by 120 feet. That means 60 feet by 120 feet.
Okay.
And 6 of it is an acre. So 6 plots make an acre. What I just said about 640 square meter is the standard. But in some areas, they have their own standard. Especially, let me use, for example, the island. Most of them don't do 640 square meter.
What do they do?
Yes. Some areas, some do 50 by 100. And the government, they gave it an
Is that
approval.
legal?
No, it is. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In some areas, like Ondo State and other places, they've already approved it for them. Now, there's a condition for approvals for that. The standard by surveyors, the surveyors in Nigeria, whatever, is 640 square meter. But because of some areas, they have to come down to do some restructuring of the measurement to make sure that it can accommodate more people because of maybe water areas and all that. But like on the island now, they don't really do 640 square meter. What they do is you can see 3,000 plus, 4,000 plus, whatever, and their own plus about 900 and something. So that also informs how they sell. He just told us something, asking that how do you know your plot, can come back tomorrow or the next day, and you'll be shown somewhere else and all that. It is true, and it's because the land agents most times they take advantage of our ignorance.
Yeah.
They know that when you come, you are so happy that you are acquiring a property.
When you come as somebody who's buying land, let's say for most of us who would have to buy, in, like you said, undeveloped areas, outskirts of places, what should I be looking for? Or what should I look out for?
You should just please, you don't pay until you get a surveyor to be shown your plot. Then your surveyor immediately, of course, he knows what to do. He has his equipment, the GPRS and all that. He quickly gets the size of the place for you and tells you, okay, this is it. And there and then, most times, that day or even the next day, since a surveyor is there, he gives you a corner piece. A corner piece is marking your plots here and there by the 4 corners. You just do an L shape by the 4 corners. And the next day, it will be very, very difficult for anybody to say that is no longer your plot. Because they know that by what you have done, you have marked that place seriously. And for them to change it, of course, you know, for them to now break the corner pieces and cover it up with bushes again, I think it will be difficult for bush to grow overnight again. So they know they won't do that. So the fact that people, they take you out, when they show you, let's go. You know this place is bush, let's go. So you also rush out to go and settle with them outside there. So please don't do that. When you get a plot of land, try to do as much as possible, whatever you want to do in that place. If possible, take your surveyor with you, take your lawyer with you, that same day, do the document for that place. And before you pay, you need to also know the history of the place, who owns that place, who is actually selling. Any member of the family cannot just sell to you without the knowledge of the head of the family. So please don't just say, unless if that person has the document.
We're still talking housing in Nigeria. Now, I want to ask you as a professional, which is better? Is it better starting out to buy a house or to buy land and build what you want? What's the way forward? Considering the fact that population is increasing, cost of living is increasing, what would be your professional take on that?
Well, while she was talking earlier, she mentioned your resources. If the fund is there, for a starter, buy the house.
Because I realize banks don't give you loans to buy land.
They don't.
Why is that?
Because to serve as a collateral, what is the worth of the land? What will you put down as a collateral to buy land? And don't forget, land as at that time you're buying it has no value beyond it because there's no yet structure on it. And most times, because they are also not sure that that land is 100% still yours, especially if it's new. If you have a CFO for it and it's just barely new, maybe you just bought it fresh or that. Because that's for you to use as collateral. But for you to buy, they'll tell you, how have you confirmed that the land belongs to where you're buying it from? Even if an estate, they'll tell you now that, okay, you need to put up a collateral. You want to buy a plot of land now for 800,000, and they ask you to bring a collateral worth about 3 million naira.
That doesn't make sense.
Logically, it's an avenue to discourage you from coming for facility for buying land. That is just my conclusion.
Okay, so what should I be looking at? Which one is preferable? Is it to just get a house once and for all?
Now,
to get land?
like I was saying, the resources depend. Let's assume that for a starter, you cannot afford to buy your choice building. You can build it. If the finance is not there, you can go in stages. Buy the land, and I'll tell people, you can build your masterpiece in stages. What you do is that get your land, get all the documents that are required to get. I started the same thing, my own personal property. I just started molding blocks on it. I just started with 4,000 blocks. To do a 3-bedroom comfortably, you don't need more than about 3,000 plus blocks of
Really?
9 inches. Yes, you don't need more than that to put up a 3-bedroom bungalow. 3,000 to 4,000, max 4,000. So just go ahead and begin to put blocks on your land. I can also tell you that you don't need to buy. You don't need to buy blocks on your land. You can mold your blocks. Just get the people that will do it for you. Tell them, they pay them per day, they pay them per bag. They just buy the materials and they put your blocks together for you. Before you know what's happening, you have 4,000 standing there with your little income. You have 4,000 units of blocks on your land, and you are becoming a proud owner of blocks very soon to come to you.
The blocks will come to your house. Okay. Yes, you
Yeah.
want to say something?
Yes. Actually, it's nice hearing so much from him. It's nice learning so much about building and property acquisition, and I know he is able to do that because he's an expert. We have these agencies, we have these companies all over, and excuse me, sometimes we know that it is best for you to consult them before you take any step or when you're about to buy a property. The question is the charges they require you, they require from you for
Which agencies, for
the
instance?
agencies. I mean the property development agencies. I mean talking to experts now
Okay.
when you need to buy or secure or start building is so much. Is there any way it's being regulated so that people are interested in consulting these people? Because in the alternative, you see a surveyor, a trained surveyor who has maybe a primary six certificate, who will tell you, I can help you do the survey, I'll do the architecture, I can even I can be your contractor. I can do all these. I can do all
One
that.
person?
One person, honestly.
Are
and
you
at the end
serious?
of the
Does
day,
that happen?
it happens.
It happens, but it's not the one to do it. What he had just told you is that leave
Yes,
it in my
people.
hands to take care of it for you. It's not the one to do it. He's going to get people to do it for him. That's what happens. You see, what he wants to do from you now, okay, he knows these guys will charge 10,000. He tells you it's 21,000. You price him 15,000. He knows that you already have 5,000 without doing anything. You have 5,000 naira. He links the guy. In fact, he can even get more because the guy that is going to link to come and do the job, we also say, okay, for helping me to get this job, take a 2 naira. So it takes a 2 from there, it takes a 5 from you, that's 7. Now, your own is that you make sure you want your building up there. You get your advice. Let me tell you this also. It depends on where you go. There's some valuers we know. I don't want to mention names. We know them. That people say that, no, for this to manage my property, is this company I want? We know them. But there's some people, they will do it for you conveniently. For example, one of my clients brought in a drawing to my office. It was a wow. Sincerely, if I'm to ask him to do it in my office, he won't pay less than 100,000 naira. But I found out, he told me the truth. I got the address of the person that did it. He told me that guy collected 25 or 30,000 naira from him. Now, very perfect job. And I told him it's a very perfect job. I
Was
wasn't
well
because
done.
he didn't do it, I now turn him down. Very good job. But what am I trying to say? But it depends on where he went. And 2,
And it was professionally done.
it was professionally done.
Okay.
See, you don't have to run him down because you feel that, okay, he didn't give it to you. No, we don't do that. I commend what is good. Because I told him, you want to get your land, we are doing allocation so time, but in my estate, we can give you ahead of time. If you're ready to start building, write me a letter of commitment.
Okay, I was going to ask you that after buying that land in most of these estates, for
yeah.
instance, am I then supposed to build what I like?
There are 2 types. They have what we call the housing unit area. Every estate wants to put up a structure to give it a face. The frontal part of it, you want to make sure to put some good structures that will give the estates a good facelift, so that when other people start building, somebody might say, okay, all I want to be on my land is just a 1-bedroom, self-contained, and that's all I can afford. If you allow the person to put it in between, it will give it one kind of shape, and you won't like that. So usually what happens is, like my estate, for example, the frontal part of it, we have about 50 units of 3-bedroom. We have it there. Then we now start allocating to people. Now, so far, we've allocated 600 and something plus so far. And I can tell you that not up to 10 or 15 of them, rather, let me do 15 of them have come to start something on their land. It therefore means that if you buy land now, like my estate, what we do now is that before allocation, you come and say you have your money with you, you want to start something, you don't want to spend the money. I said, no problem. Do me a letter of commitment that you want to start building. Before I give you documents, I take you to what you are buying is not paper, is the land. And I tell my engineer and surveyor, take this person, give him block 12 plot. I look at the layout from my system, and it's there standing physically. Okay, go to block 12 plot 4, give it to him. The person start building. And I'm sure even with that document, the person is already happy with me. Already very happy that I'm making the dream come.
So even without getting all the proper documentation, the person
In an
can
estate
start
now.
Inside an estate,
Yes,
the person can
they
start
can
building.
arrange it for yes, so that because sometimes to get approval from the states, especially maybe Lagos or and all that, to get survey out is usually a bit time taking. and the person feels that, like somebody wrote me that I took a 3 million, I don't know how I did it, he said he took a 3 million for something, but he wanted you to build. I said, no problem, go ahead. And 1 month, 1 week, that building was furnished completely in my estate.
Oh yes, have you tried to start building? Have you tried to start building
For now,
the
no.
blocks?
No.
Why?
We have other things to do, but with the knowledge I just got
Exactly.
from
I
you
was
now,
going to say
I
because,
think I'll
because
sell
the thing
it.
is, you always think is, man, I need plenty of money.
Yes.
Let me just come in. Sorry
Yeah.
for that. Presently, a bag of cement goes for about 2,100. A bag can give you. What happens is a bag can give you about 45 blocks. Yeah. Now, all you need to do is that give them a tipper of sand. The bricklayers will do about 12 bags a day. 12 bags, some do 15. But depending on how much you're able to afford to buy cement, don't buy the sand there for them. One trip is about 22,000, 20,000, 22,000. Just buy one, and you buy them number of bags you want to produce, and they take about 2,000, and whatever for the labor about 3,000 something. But usually for a bag, not everybody has to do bulk. For a bag, they take 500 naira for a bag. I think it's easier that way calculated. So if you like buy them 10 bags, they'll just know that you're going to pay that person 500 naira for his work. Forget about how many people he's bringing to do the work. It's not your headache. For producing 45 from a block, if you tell them to do 50, they'll do it, but you're likely to be getting bad product. But 45, 40, 45, very okay to produce from a bag. And you give the person money for 5 bags, 10 bags. Like you said, depending on your pocket, I can only afford 10. Give the person money for 10. I can only do 5. You give him, we just produce it. You keep it, they'll lay it on your land.
That is what they collect.
That's what they take for
500
Lagos
naira
State.
per bag.
Yes, everywhere. I have a project going in Lekki, it's the same thing. I have in Agbara, it's the same thing. I have in Mowe Ofada, it's the same thing. But usually what happens is that people want to give them as a bulk thing. Let me do 2,000 blocks.
Okay.
And most time what happens is that you put yourself in a fix. But I feel that one of the reasons for this is that
So
we
it's
should
better
get-
to pay them per bag than to give them bulk on blocks.
depending on your, I just said it earlier, depending on your pocket. If you can afford to do it and remove your eyes from it, all you want to do, but then you need to get someone to help you supervise them to be sure that the 5,000 blocks is what they model for you, and not 4,000. When it's much, you might not be able to
Can't
count. But if it's okay, do me 10 today. That's just about 450, right? So 450. Send your younger brother there before he knows what's happening. He's back. He's 450.
I'm amazed. If you know these things, it's not as big as you think it is.
Yes.
It means you can actually go at your own pace
You can,
and still get it done.
unless you want to go and.
So housing is affordable.
If you want it affordable, you're not talking about VI. You're not talking of Lekki.
No.
You're not talking of hybrid areas. So, if for a starter, you won't go and get a land. You won't go and get a land where you know that you need so much to secure the land. Like somebody bought a land in Lekki, 350 million land, and it's filled it to 150 million. So, how much is the worth of the land? 500 million. So, how much worth of building should come on it?
That's a good question. Let's take a break. We'll come back and talk. Let's keep proceeding. Welcome back. We're still talking housing in Nigeria. Let me ask this. When it comes to, you've explained it to us as per land and building. If I want to buy a house, what should I know?
Okay.
Already built
For
houses.
every building,
Yes.
it starts with land. So you must find out the land where that estate is. Does it have a CFO?
Is it possible for them to
To show you.
take your house if it is in an estate, if it doesn't have CFO? Can it be taken over?
Yes, it can.
Are you
Not
serious?
your house, the estate. If they block the estate, how will you have access to your building? So it will be a lost investment.
No, because usually once I see the word estate, for me it's a sense of security that, okay, I'm not the only one, because we're many, it cannot be illegal So is it possible? That's what I'm asking you. Is it possible for it to be legal even as an estate?
Not really,
Or
not
properly
really
documented?
illegal.
Yeah.
Yes, there could be improper documentation. And most times, what happens is this. Of course, you now begin to go to court and all that with government and all that. Of course, you can't win government. It's difficult to win government. You win only in rare cases and maybe small cases. Big ones don't win because they will make sure they win you. But the point now is that even at that, what they will now do is that they ask you to pay some charges.
Is it only C of O? There are some buildings they'll tell you do not have C of O. They have certificate. I don't
Government
know.
consent.
Government
consent.
Yes.
Yes, government consent happens to be like there are two things to this now. You can have when you have an CFO for an estate, then in every document, like what we do in my office now, we have a place for governor's consent, meaning that you want to, instead of having a personal CFO for your building and land for your portion,
That's within that estate.
within that estate,
Okay.
what you just do is that you file in for a governor's consent under your document for your building, which therefore means that it cannot become.
So if I get land inside your estate, because you already have the C of O,
a global CFO.
Yeah, for the entire thing.
Yeah.
What I can get for mine personally
It's a
is governor's consent.
consent, yes.
And is it necessary I have that?
Now, depending, some say because I'll tell people why you can. It's expensive doing that if you are not the type that uses for financial dealings and all that. There's no point. But you do it because some say, okay, I like to use that collateral here and there. So you've got to do it. That's the only reason why you do it. Maybe you need to drop it as collateral because if it's not, because it's in an estate, you need a consent on it to say, okay, yes, it's in an estate, but this portion belongs to this person. So bank will recognize it. If not, no financial institution will recognize it as a collateral for anything.
Okay. Before I go on a break, I want to ask about this. What is deed of ownership?
Deed of ownership, okay, they call it either deed of assignment.
Yes, deed of
Okay, deed of assignment. We have deed of assignment, we have deed of estate covenant. Deed of assignment is a document showing that that portion or that building has been assigned to you from the lots. Is that like governor's consent? No.
Because these are all the documents you see when you want to buy land.
Yes.
They will show you deed of assignment. They will show you some would have C of O, some would have governor's
Now,
consent.
the content of a deed of assignment
Yes.
states that between social person and this social company.
So that is between you and like the family.
No. Assigning to you buying from the estate now. That's what they call deed of assignment. If it's between me and the family, it's the same deed of assignment, but it's not within an estate. They are also saying that within wherever the land is located. That's what it's talking about. But the content of the deed of assignment
Yes.
will state the positioning of the land, who and who are we talking about, between you buying from whichever.
Who does the deed of assignment? Who?
It's an agreed person between the seller and the buyer.
That's what I'm saying. So it's not.
But for an estate, it's the estate.
Okay. So it is not recognized by. Should I use the word government?
It's recognized.
The deed of assignment
Yes,
is
it's
recognized.
recognized.
It's a legal binding document.
Yes, it is. That's
Okay.
because a lawyer will append signature on it.
So can I, if for instance, my question, if I have bought this land from Ahmed, he has the C of O, meaning I can't get another C of O. Yeah? Because they say they don't issue C of O twice.
Yes.
One C of O is all you get. Now, if he does, can he do a deed of assignment to me along with his C of O?
Yes, it can.
Does that mean legally it is recognized?
It's legally.
Can I use that as collateral, for instance?
Yes, because what they do is that you go and do an oath on it.
Okay.
You go and do just to formalize the paper that's between you, so that that other paper can form a legal document. The transfer you just did to you now, you've got to take it to the court. You must have signed it. Both of you have signed. Take it up. Just go there. They sign it. They seal it. Then it's also that means legally now it's been registered with the law with the government that there is a transfer of this property or ownership from the initial owner to the new person, and becomes a legal document because there'll be a government authority.
All right,
Start
but let's
moving
take
blocks.
a break. Let's take a break. When we come from break, we'll talk about that. You're welcome back. we're still talking housing in Nigeria, way forward, how affordable, how possible, all the many questions about housing. And I must say that you are making it look easy. Do you know, for the first time, I actually believe I can start building. Like, I don't need to wait till to have money. But I want to talk about buying a house, because that's not usually an alternative people look at. And a lot of the time, you have a lot of these estates, especially the low-income, medium-income ones, which is supposed to be what is affordable for a lot of us starting out, not being touched at all because people believe that they cannot take it. How do you move forward on that?
One, you have to first consider, because for you to get any building, to be your choice. 1, 2, your choice has to be based on your income. Even if you want to go for a mortgage, you'll be assessed. They assess you. How old are you? What are your present income?
Do you do mortgages in your place? Do you do houses that people
we don't, but people do. We refer them. We don't deal directly with them. We call them PMI, primary mortgage institutions. We don't deal with them directly. Because what I find that's happening today now is that all of them are starting having their own estates too.
Oh.
Instead of providing mortgages to people, now they provide mortgage to buy from them.
Themselves.
So they provide you mortgage now to buy from them. Before you buy the direct
that should be legal.
Sincerely, it is.
Let me take questions from the audience right now.
My question goes to Mr. Gideon. I want to know, because you have let us know that we can see 40 or 45 blocks inside one bag of cement. Now, I want to know how many blocks can we get inside one tipper of sand?
For sand, sand has textures. It depends on the source. The one they get on the island, of course, you know that is salty, and it's not so. It doesn't really cohere easily when they mix it with. So sometimes I may not be able to tell
sand
you.
also depends on where it comes from.
Yes.
Okay.
But outside that area, every other place here, I think I can tell you that the mix also matters, because one thing I know is that you can get for two productions per day, usually that's 12 times 2, 24 bags. 24 bags or more you can do that with one tipper of sand. That means you can get about 900 or more from one tipper of sand.
You are making a lot of people happy. You can see smiling faces.
That's why I'm here.
Well, I want to say a very big thank you, sir.
Thank you too.
You are really enlightening us here. Actually, for the question we are asking, that is housing really affordable in Lagos? I never believed before, but now I can believe that housing is really affordable.
Please
And
believe
you are
again.
beginning to give us, we the youth, hope that at least we somehow we are going
We
to be
the
landlords. Basically, most of the things you are saying, to be really be practical, I've seen them. Like where I stay in Isheri Oshun.
Okay.
It's a kind of a suburb of
After I continue.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a place called White Sand.
Okay.
Most of these things you are saying that you see people buying plots of land or pieces of land. You see them setting block like 3 coaches. I've seen them. Initially when I got there, I was just why is this people? I started asking questions, and I got to discover that that's just a means of them securing their land. So most of those things we are saying is not new to me. And these are people that are living in those places. They don't have electricity, but basically they run on generators. But it's more better than them living in a rented apartment, because at least they have peace of mind. I want to ask a question. Ever since when I've been hearing that people are selling land, I've been hearing about acres, plots, but an agent walked to me one day, said, guy, do you have 300,000? There's someone that wants to sell a piece of land. He said they call it pieces. Is there anything like this? And is it legal?
Pieces.
No, it's piece of land. It's a piece of land, not pieces of land. It's a piece of land. We call it piece of land, which is just like a piece of cloth. That means one out of the several. That's what the person have told
Okay,
you.
so
Maybe you didn't
is
get
there
it.
a measurement for a piece of land?
No, what the person is saying is that it may not necessarily be a full plot.
Okay.
It can be half plot. That's why it's a piece of. That's why the man used that term.
Sir,
A piece.
What I really want to know is that person going to provide him with the C of O, a documentation to back it up? Because I believe when he bought that land, he registered that land on his own name.
The man has a general document for maybe a plot, and he has needs of funds, and he feels that, okay, I can part with half or even quarter and decide to sell to you. Now, he will give you a copy of the original document that he has, and there will be a document that he will do to you selling that portion.
That's like the deed of assignment.
It may not necessarily be a deed.
Okay.
Because now it's small, it may not be a deed, because to go to lawyer to do deed, you might be paying so much money. Maybe he's selling to you for
So what kind of
120,000
document would he give
It can
me?
just be normal transfer. You just do sale of portion of land. It will define it. They will define it on the letter to say, okay,
That will be done by a lawyer?
yes, they will get to that, but the person will just, they can even just go to court directly. They will type it for them there. They will carry all the documents there. Your details is details. They put there, they type it. Majorly, it's because of the oath you want to put on it. Because it cannot, the lawyer's signature is not enough to make it a legal binding document.
So even if you don't get a lawyer and you can go straight to court and between
Yes,
both of you do it,
you
it's
can do
legal.
it. Since it's already, he has original, he has all the documents with him. He owns the land now.
Yeah.
So you don't need any, only that when you get there at the court, somebody will stand there as a lawyer for you to help you type it and to help you do before. Already, you know, they have it in their system. They just help you say, okay, we'll formulate for you, do that. We'll get 10,000, 5,000. You pay the money and the land becomes yours.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sir, I want to ask this question. You have told us about securing land, but we don't know the right place to go to. My uncle fell a victim of it. He has built the house. They came later to ask him to take off his house so that they could sell the land to another person. And I was so surprised because I don't want to fall a victim. I want to know the right place to go.
Apparently, he bought from a wrong source. And I've just told us earlier that you've got to find out, before you pay, find out the documents that land has. Trace it to land, Ministry of Lands. Take it there yourself. Say, I want to find out this thing. In fact, if you want to make it formal, they will agree. Do a letter on a copy, send it there. Take it there yourself. They will respond, they will reply back to your address, or you tell them when you want to come and pick up the response, they will write back to you.
That is wherever in this country.
Wherever
Just
lands
go to the
is a
lands.
free place you can go to. It's an inquiry. You go there to make inquiries, and they will just oblige you.
Okay.
All that.
All right, thank you, sir. Is there an agency that is regulating the activities of land transaction in Lagos, or a federal agency or state agency that regulates that, so that if you have a problem, this is where you go to report, or these are the people you can ask, apart from lands, an agency that regulates the transaction?
Thank you. The most reliable is Land Bureau.
I guess the answer to that would
it's
be
same thing.
if you have gone to check it in the first place, then
Because
you
most of
would
them
not
did not check.
check. That's it.
That's
That
the
is-
problem.
At the point of buying is where you check, not after you have paid.
Yes.
Because I
That's
guess
the-
if it is registered in the Land Bureau, you cannot have.
Because no other person
problems
can lay
with
claims
it.
on it. Because they will have come there to inspect, and they will give you an approval for, they will to come and do measurement of the place and give you approval based on what they confirmed. Every land belongs to the government. You have only
Even the
99
one you have the
years.
C of
You
O.
have only 99 years to,
Okay,
it's
yes,
lease.
yes, I think I've heard
You have
that.
only 99 years to own the land.
So
After
even when you
99,
say you
have
bought
to go and
land, you
renew
really
it.
do not own it.
You don't own
You
land.
own
You
it for
really,
90
it's just to,
rented it for 99
you hold
years.
brief for 99 years.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gideon. You want to say something as a last word?
Well, I think I'm better enlightened. Initially, you asked how soon I want to build my house, and I said 5 years. I just said it like, okay, with so much faith. But now it is with so
Now
much
you are
hope.
saying with confidence.
With confidence. that
5
it
years.
It is actually
You come to the
achievable.
housewarming. It is possible.
So thank you very much.
Yes. A last word.
Honestly, when you talk about land or building a house, like, okay, that's a no-go area for
For
now.
now, because that's always what we
Yes,
say.
you're like,
we
okay, you
plenty
need a lot of
to
money to start, but right now, it is well.
start. It is well. So, Mr. Gideon, a last word for us.
Whether housing or any other project in life, you must not allow whatever that you desire to surmount you. You must surmount that thing, because when you come to achieve it, you now see yourself as you have crossed this bar, so I could cross it, and I've crossed it. Housing is how you think about it. Some will think, I want the house, the type of house that Babangida can build. But the point is this. Do you have the same income as the one they have? You can start from somewhere and get to the next level. But immediately you start your hand on the little and you achieve one, let me tell you, in the next 5-10 years, you can as well have also 2-3 buildings in the same Lagos state. All you need to do is that, where can I get the one that can afford?
Right now.
I can tell you today, go to Ikorodu extension area, you can get land as low as 300,000-400,000 per plot. You can get for 5, 6, 7, 800, depending on the area. 1 million, 2 million, depending on the area. Go after Agbara area, you can still get the one for Agbara going towards Badagry. You can get the one for 250, 150, 300, whatever. You can still get 400, 500. You can still get. Now they're adding value now in that assets because government is working on the road and all that. So on your mark,
get set,
and go there, pick your land.
We'd like to say a very big thank you to you. Honestly, thank you is the only word that we have to say. But we are really grateful for this education. Would like to show our appreciation to Kelu Image Consultants for my styling, and the jewelry by Benga Art Smith, costume design, my dress, T-threads, hair and makeup by Accord Hairdressing Salon. Thank you to Voltic Water, to my wonderful audience. Until next week when we come again talking about something equally as interesting. Bye-bye and see you next week.